Hey, Vikings Nation. Skol, my purple family. It's your die-hard fan here, fired up and ready to dive deep into the real talk shaking Minnesota right now. Picture this. Kevin O'Connell rolls into town in 2022 as the hotshot Sean McVay disciple. The ultimate offensive guru label slapped on him after that Super Bowl ring with the Rams. For years later, we've won games, built culture, but the numbers on offense? They're screaming for a reality check. Is KOC truly the mastermind we thought, or has the offense been holding us back? And with Brian Flores interviewing everywhere and J.J. McCarthy's future hanging in the balance, this offseason is pure fire. Let's start with the cold hard facts that hit like a blindside sack. Over O'Connell's 4-year run, the Vikings offense has been mediocre at best. In 2022, 18th in EPA per play, 20th in DVOA. 2023, 18th EPA, 23rd DVOA. 2024, 14th EPA, 15th DVOA. And 2025, a brutal 28th in EPA per play, 29th in DVOA, one of the worst in the league. Only once did we crack the top half, and never higher than 13th in those key efficiency metrics. That's not guru-level stuff, folks, that's average, and it stings when we had that elite defense carrying us. Context matters, though. We've cycled through 8 different quarterbacks. Cousins, Hall, Dobbs, Mullins, Darnold, McCarthy, Wentz, Brosmer, no true top-tier guy since pre-injury Cousins in 2023. Injuries wrecked the rhythm, but the bigger issue? The running game has been a disaster. Never ranked higher than 22nd in EPA per rush in 4 years, 29th in 2022, 22nd in 2023, 25th in 2024, 30th in 2025. We've been solid passing when the QB plays well, but no efficient ground attack means defenses load up on JJ and the receivers. Does that excuse the guru tag? Not fully. Flip the script to defense. That's where the Real credit belongs. Under O'Connell, 2022, Donatel, 16th EPA, 25th DVOA. Then Flores arrives, 2023 17th EPA, 11th DVOA, 2024 2nd EPA, 2nd DVOA, 2025 3rd EPA, 3rd DVOA. Our D has been lights out, especially lately, while offense drags. KOC is a great leader, motivator, culture guy, and he schemes explosive passing when the pieces fit. But the overall numbers don't scream offensive genius. If we're bouncing back in 2026, we need way more from him and the staff, especially if Flores bolts. Speaking of Flores, the news is exploding. He's already interviewed for the Ravens head coach job after Harbaugh's exit, and now he's got requests from the Steelers to replace Tomlin, plus a surprising lateral DC interview with the Commanders today. Adam Schefter dropped the bomb. Flores in Washington for DC, Steelers HC next. Vikings brass say they're aggressive in talks, mutual desire to stay unless it's HC. But these moves hit the odds hard. Flores has turned our D into a monster. Losing him would hurt big time. KOC says Flores won't leave for anything but a head gig, and Flores loved his time here before Week 18. But with 3 interviews, Ravens HC, Steelers HC, Commanders DC, it's tense. This could dictate everything: QB decisions, staff, roster. If Flores stays, we might push for contention with insurance at QB. If he goes, rebuild vibes creep in. Vikings fans, are you nervous about losing B-Flow? Hit the comments. Now, the QB room, O'Connell's top priority is the deepest, most talented one possible. J.J. McCarthy, turning 23, had a rough debut. Injuries, turnovers, poor stretches looking bust-like. But he finished strong with flashes of elite talent. Only 10 starts in 2 years. Missed rookie year knee injury. O'Connell's encouraged by the late season play, says McCarthy wants greatness more than anyone. We'll work tirelessly this offseason. No rehab distraction. GM Kwesi non-committal on McCarthy as starter smart. No boxing in. Competition is coming. There has to be competition to make everybody better. They messed up last year letting Darnold walk, not pursuing vets, handing it to McCarthy with weak backups. 2026? Expect a legit vet battle unless a massive upgrade happens. McCarthy's ceiling is high with experience, but flaws and injuries mean no full commitment yet. What do you think, ride with JJ or bring in real heat? This ties right back to O'Connell's offense. To elevate McCarthy, we need better protection, run game, mechanics coaching. KOC can build explosive attacks. He did when QB play clicked. But 4 years of middling rankings? Time for proof. The defense saved us in 2025. Offense doomed us. If Flores leaves, QB becomes even trickier, contention or development. The pressure is on KOC as leader. He's great in close games, motivates, sets culture. But offensive guru? The metrics say nah, not yet. 2026 is make or break for the offense to match the defense's dominance. Imagine if we fix the run game and get consistent QB. Sky's the limit with JJ Jefferson. Fans, this offseason is massive Flores drama, QB competition, offensive overhaul. Are we overrating KOC's scheme, or does he need better talent? Drop your takes below. Who should we add for QB competition? Vet like Cousins return, or swing big? Are we sure Kevin O'Connell deserves the offensive guru label? Are we sure he deserves those very unofficial labels? 4 years is a pretty big sample size, and although the Vikings have won plenty of regular season games during O'Connell's tenure, their overall offensive metrics are extremely underwhelming. Just look at where they've ranked in 2 prominent all-encompassing metrics over the past 4 years. Hat tip to Nick Olson, who pointed this out. 2022, only once in 4 years have the Vikings had an above-average offense, according to those 2 useful efficiency metrics. And even then, it was barely in the top half. Now, to be fair to O'Connell, the offensive numbers need a little bit of context and unpacking. The Vikings have started 8 different quarterbacks in his tenure. Kirk Cousins. 4 years in, there are clearly a lot of things O'Connell does well as a head coach. He's a great leader, motivator, and culture setter. Kevin O'Connell talks JJ McCarthy. Goals for Vikings 2026 QB room. O'Connell wants a deep, talented quarterback room next season. Barring something shocking, McCarthy will be a big part of that. November 2nd, 2025. McCarthy, who turns 23 next week, is still a big part of Minnesota's plans until proven otherwise. But with pressure on Vikings leadership to turn things around and get back to the postseason in 2026, there's no guarantee that McCarthy will remain the starter. Last offseason, the Vikings let Sam Darnold walk in free agency and then were unable to retain Daniel Jones, which GM Kwesi Adofo-Mensah admitted on Tuesday they could have handled better. They also declined to pursue Aaron Rodgers and essentially handed the job to McCarthy. I think there has to be competition, O'Connell said. I think that's what's going to make everybody better in that room. The McCarthy situation is a fascinating one because it can be viewed through several different lenses. At times this season, he played so poorly that he seemed to be careening towards instant bust status. I was really encouraged by the type of football he started to play toward the second half of the season, finishing the way he did, O'Connell said. But we're still looking at a quarterback who's started 10 games. JJ McCarthy is a guy that wants to be great, O'Connell said. I know he's going to work tirelessly to do that. Flores has added a second head coaching interview and is also, rather notably, taking a defensive coordinator interview elsewhere. Steelers now have requested a head coach interview with Vikings defensive coordinator Brian Flores, per sources. Flores is in Washington today, interviewing for the Commanders' DC job. Steelers' HC interview is expected next. Either one would be an incredible opportunity, given the history of success that both organizations have. From a football standpoint, Flores has certainly earned the right to be considered for a second chance at being a head coach, with the way his Vikings defenses have produced over the past couple years. Matt Crone, the more notable and fascinating news on Wednesday is that Flores interviewed with the Commanders for what would be a lateral move. Kevin O'Connell has stated multiple times, including on Tuesday, that the Vikings have been aggressive in negotiations with Flores, that there's a mutual desire to get a new contract done if he doesn't get a head coach job, and that they don't expect him to leave for anything other than a head coach job. We'll continue to track it all until we find out, at some point in the next couple weeks, where Flores will be coaching this year. Skol forever, Vikings fam. This is Minnesota Vikings news at its rawest. If you're hyped for more passionate breakdowns, smash that like, Comment your hottest opinion, subscribe for every update, and share with your purple crew. Let's ride this wave together. Skol. See you next time.